Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got this 2002 Mercedes-Benz ML 320, and the issue with this one is that the transfer case motor does not engage, so I cannot engage low range on this vehicle. So in today's video, we are going to diagnose and see why the motor does not engage. And we're going to be starting off with the faults. So I have fault P1831 stored, positioner motor or position sensor or power supply is faulty. So let's do some tests and see if we got a power supply issue, a ground issue, or if that motor is just bad. I do have another vehicle here with the same transfer case that I can take the motor out of and put it on this one. Okay, I've got the wiring diagram up right here. So transfer case, range selection motor, left rear of transfer case, and I do know where this is. And this is transfer case control module. So I want to test the power supply to it. So we have position ranges, 1, 2, 3, 4, low and high. Low range on mine is not working. And then we've got return, high, low. So here's the motor for the low range. So let's get underneath of the car and do a visual inspection first. See if we can see anything visually. So this is the motor right here. I'm doing a visual inspection. I don't see anything that is sticking out to me yet. I might do a tap test on this motor and see if this motor comes back. That way it's a quick test, and if it does come back, we know that the motor is probably binding up, and then we'll do a electrical test to it also. So far I have hooked up the oscilloscope, and what I hooked it up to is, I'll try to get some of the glare out of the way. So there's this return line, pin A2, and then we have the low-high input. On the oscilloscope here, the green one is the low-high input, and it's 3 volts, and the return reads the opposite of that. So when I press the button to engage, which is right here, my light starts flashing, and I can see that it is receiving the input to turn on that motor, to engage the low motor, but it's not doing it. So far I know that the wires, at least for these two, are okay. It is receiving the signal, but the motor is not functioning. It could be because it's rusted and the motor might be seized. The transfer case inside could be bad too, but I'm going to continue and check some of the other wires also. Okay, now I'm connected to the gray wire, position 1 of the transfer case, and I am also connected to the yellow wire, which is the high-low of the transfer case. So right below we had low-high, now we have high-low. And on the scope, I'm reading 0 volts for both. I'm going to attempt to turn that on. So nothing is happening when I try to engage it right now. So I disconnected everything from the bottom. What I want to do next is remove the center console, get access to that module, and check the wires there. And I might do a resistance check between all the wires. So far, I'm thinking that motor is bad, and I do have another car here, so I can swap it from. Which is good, but I want to do a resistance check between them first. Okay, so I'm testing between pin 8 of the module to pin, says G over here, but it's the other yellow wire going to the selection motor, so to the motor at the bottom. I'm hooked up here, pin 8, that's the yellow wire. The module is this one right here, and I'm getting 0 ohms, so the resistance is good between these two. Now I'm gonna go down the list and check position 4, 3, 2, and 1. So right here, position 4, 3, 2, and 1. The low high, this one I actually checked with the oscilloscope, and this one I had feedback from when I was checking it with the oscilloscope, so that one is fine. And also the return was opposite of what the low high was, so I had about 3 volts here and I had negative 3 volts there. Alright guys, so I'm going to take this motor off. There's a 10 millimeter here, and there's a bunch of 10 millimeters around it as well. I'm going to disconnect it from up there, and I'm going to take a look at this motor. So I'm pretty much certain at this point that the motor is seized and it's no longer moving. So let's get this off and we'll inspect it. Try tapping it, nothing is happening. So, and the position sensor on these is inside the whole sensor. I think that's what our issue is. It doesn't know where it is, so it won't even try to activate. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to remove the one from my other car. I'm going to swap it and we'll double check it again. Before I permanently connect this in the vehicle, I'm going to put some black arc TV on here. The other one had it. Not the fluid should not be going through here, but the other one had it, so just in case, I'm just going to put some around here. This is more than what it will need, but it's not going to harm it. Like I said, fluid should not be going through here, but just to seal it a little bit. Okay, I've got this motor fully hooked up now. It's fully bolted on. Moment of truth now. I apologize for the whole mess over here. I could barely get in and out myself. So we got the computer hooked up. We're going to start the car. The low range was blinking before. It no longer is. And these other lights, they're all going to come off. So we're now in neutral. And we're going to engage it. And I can feel it engage. Who knows last time when this thing actually engaged was. So that's a fix. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to go and put everything back together now.